Hey everyone, it's me, Yvonne Emile Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Counseling. And this is like the fourth time I try to record this video because my computer's not playing along. So let's just see how it goes. And yeah, I'm here because we have the Scorpio new moon that happens today, Monday, November 13th. And I'm going to look at the time exactly. But anyhow, I just wanted to jump on and, let's give you an idea of what the energies from this new moon could show up. And it really is in my opinion, a beautiful but very intense new moon. So with that being said, I just wanted to share that I participated in a beautiful plant-based ceremony, healing ceremony this past weekend. And I can't tell you how amazingly mystical and insightful and healing this experience has been. Maybe I'll share a little bit more in another video, but I thought it was very appropriate considering that we were working our way up to this very deep subconscious, emotionally depth of Scorpio New Moon. And that's exactly what my experience was this past weekend. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. So, all right, so let's get to the chart. I do want to share that. I'm hoping the computer will not decide to do anything ridiculousness. And let's see, here we go. All right, so I need to find my share button. There we go. All right, so this new moon is in Scorpio. As I mentioned, Scorpio is water, it's deep water, and it is happening today, the Monday, the 13th at 3:27 a.m. So I'm recording this a little late, obviously, because, it's been one of those weekends where I was just trying to relax and integrate my healing experience. I wasn't really quite on it, but I did remember it's the new moon. All right, so here we have this beautiful new moon in Scorpio. Okay, again, Scorpio is deep water. Okay, and the reason I say that this is going to be an intense new moon is because this moon is conjunct Mars. Mars is the owner of Scorpio. Okay, the co-owner is Pluto, but from my perspective, Mars owns Scorpio. So this is a very strong Mars that we're going to be dealing with. And if you notice, this is completely opposite or opposing Uranus retrograde in Taurus. All right. So yeah, this is the intensity of it. Now, the beautiful aspect of this, in my opinion, is that all of this new moon and even Mars are trining, beautiful trine to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So yeah, I feel like this is an opportunity for us to tap into some really inner healing work. So our balancing work, that's the word that came through in my journey, was like balance. Let's balance, right? Heal and balance. Let's balance things out. So okay, so let's talk about Scorpio energy. I love Scorpio energy. It can be broody, it can be selfish, it can be laser focused, right? It can really not want to feel vulnerable. It takes a lot to crack into their shell, and once you're in, you're in for life. But Scorpio energy can sometimes struggle with vulnerability. Okay, it can struggle with all the intense emotions that sometimes it doesn't want to feel, but that's the purpose of the Scorpio archetype, is to come in and experience those deeper levels of emotion. It pertains to the subconscious. It really likes to dive into the house of fears. Okay, it does represent the eighth house. Excuse me. The eighth house is the house of fears, the house of subconscious, the house of the occult, those things that are hidden, okay, that Scorpio energies like to dive into. But one of the aspects of Scorpio energy is really learning how to trust. Okay, it does not trust easily. And so part of this new moon is really going to be about learning to trust that inner part of who we are. Okay, all right, so let's talk a little bit about Mars. And this could also show up in the emotions, category, but Mars is ideally an agitator. Okay, it agitates, it inflames. It causes inflammation. Okay, but inflammation isn't always a bad thing, right? Sometimes we need passion. Passion is an inflammatory. Yes, I'll go with that. Okay, so we have this moon that to some capacity, because Mars is really, really strong in Scorpio, it is going to potentially cause that laser inflammation that happens with those emotions. All right. Again, the moon represents emotions. The new moon is about the beginning of this lunar phase. And so we may see that there are some emotional, upheavals that start to happen. All right. Especially because Mars, the moon, and the sun are opposing Uranus retrograde. Okay. And that in and of itself becomes a lot of unstable energy. Now, Uranus and Taurus is Earth. It's solid. It's stability. But when Uranus is retrograde, and it does this every once in a while, that instability can suddenly show up. You can lose that stability all of a sudden. And so that's why this new moon makes me feel like there could be the potential for it to be more intense, because there's this potential of this instability this lunar month. Okay, especially emotional instability with finances as well, because Taurus represents finances, and Scorpio to some extent represents finances. So again, we want to be a little bit more cautious during the holiday season, that we don't overextend ourselves with our finances, right? This could also be sudden aggression and agitation, and we know what's going on in the world. So a lot of this is showing up in the astrology, the geopolitical astrology, which I'm not specialized in whatsoever, but this could also be, conflicts that we are dealing with. Okay. Now, let's talk about that beautiful Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Okay. This is the part that makes me feel like this could be also a very healing, balancing type of opportunity, because Neptune is the mysticism, right? Neptune is the spiritual aspect. Neptune is beyond all bounds. It's fog. It's elusive. It can cause problems because sometimes we can't see things very clearly, and sometimes we can become highly idealistic. But when the new moon and Mars are connecting to Neptune and Pisces this way, because Pisces is the epitome of, the mystic, the spiritual guru. Okay. It can be a very healing opportunity in the sense that you can come into your own spiritual sense. You can come into your own understanding of these deeper emotions that you're experiencing or that you're watching somebody else experience, and really have not just a physical or logical approach to them, but have a more spiritual, heart-based approach to them. Okay. Pisces energy is all heart. Okay. It's moody as hell, but it's all heart. Okay. So with this new moon, I tell you, it could be both. From a physical, mundane point of view, you are going to have maybe some agitation, but it also gives you an opportunity to take a look at that instability, those emotional uproars, right? Emotions erupt, and really take the time to assess how those emotions can be balanced in your life, how you can use some creativity, how can you use spiritual, tactics or exercises. And I don't mean creative. I don't just mean like, oh, let's go paint, okay, which is awesome, which I've been doing lately, and it has been really, really, really healing. I was doing it with my niece the other day, about 2 weeks ago, so that was really fun. Anyhow, so this heart-based Neptune I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to try that. Mystical. Okay, that's the word. This Scorpio energy, along with this Pisces, Neptune and Pisces are very, very mystical in nature. They allow us to tap into the inner aspects of ourselves, our own spiritual intelligence, okay, our own sense of how we fit into the world. And so these uproars, emotional uproars or upheavals that we might experience in the physical realm can be a wonderful opportunity for us to tap into the sense of who we are. Now, I have been practicing this for a while, and I find that is one of the most balancing exercises that I do to help manage my ego, because that ego tends to go out of control. Okay. I imagine myself as the person that I am annoyed with, the person that I don't like, the person that in that moment is agitating me. Okay. I imagine looking through their eyes. Okay. And once I can look through their eyes, so to speak, it gives me the opportunity to take a step back and maybe to understand them some more, maybe get a different perspective of what they're going through. It's not an easy exercise, but I'm going to challenge all of you to just for this new moon and maybe this entire lunar month, just to try that exercise for a bit. Try to see through other people's eyes, especially those that really grind you or that you're having a difficult time understanding or connecting with. And that's the epitome of diving in deep to that Scorpio essence, okay, that deep emotional water, the subconscious, really looking at those things that are hidden, and then tapping into that Neptune piece that says, I want to be loved. I want to move and extend beyond my ego. I want to be able to just connect with everyone on that love level. So yeah, I'm still feeling pretty high from this. And I don't mean just high, I mean like love high. So I am intending to keep this. One of the beautiful insights that I gained this weekend was that I have a choice. I have a choice. And sometimes we don't feel like we have a choice. I have a choice. You have a choice. From this moment on, I have a choice how I'm going to live my life. Am I going to enjoy it? Am I going to, honor it? Or am I going to be depressed by it? Am I going to be, upset by the decisions that I made? I always have a choice. And no matter whether this high goes away or not, okay, I'm not technically high right now anymore. I'm just saying, okay, my love, anyways, I'm not technically high, but it was a really good experience. Okay. I have a choice and you do too. So just remember that. All right, everyone, if you want to learn more about your astrology, or you want to strategize, on some life stuff, okay, we can all use astrology to do that. I am going to bail now because now I can hear the beautiful crew doing its job out there. Just reach out. You can find me. silvermooncounseling.org at silvermooncounseling.org. All right, everyone, take care. Blessed be.